Andrew, we've heard from various authorities today, the states, the federal department. What have you ascertained? Is it being utilised? Is it working, the COVIDSafe app?
Well, two very different questions, I guess. Is it being utilised? Not as much as you might think, Kieran. And as you said, 6 million of us have downloaded this app. And when I say us, I mean us as well, Kieran. The PM called it like putting on sunscreen. He said we had to download it to ensure restrictions were lifted. Then they were lifted anyway. Does it work properly? Well, after speculation yesterday, there were problems with it in New South Wales and some rumours I heard to that effect a couple of weeks ago, which everyone denied. I've sought some answers on this today. The most cryptic responses come from New South Wales Health, who essentially say they haven't needed it yet because there are not enough cases, but seem to point to some problems. Let's have a look at this. New South Wales Health can confirm the COVIDSafe app is working. However, data from it has reflected details already obtained by our own dedicated contact tracing team, almost as if they don't need it. As recent positive cases in New South Wales have been in hotel quarantine, they have not generated community contacts, so even our own tracing efforts have been unnecessary. New South Wales Health has an expert team of 150 people who use a sophisticated system of contact tracing, and if needed, members of that team can and have accessed app data, only if needed. New South Wales Health, together with other jurisdictions, is actively collaborating with the Digital Transformation Agency, that's Stuart Roberts' department, to prioritise enhancements to the app. So they say there needs to be enhancements. We will continue to work with the Commonwealth while a formal evaluation of the contact tracing app is underway. Now, federal and state governments have had to go into damage control on this after reports it did not work or does not work properly for New South Wales Health. They say it works, but there is no doubt that in some circumstances on Apple iPhones, which make up the majority of phones, the Bluetooth pickup of contacts is not as effective as it could be. Apple, I'm told, are working on this and it will improve in the next week or two. Well, Kerry Chant, the Chief Health Officer in New South Wales, she admitted to some technical difficulties this morning, some problems with the handshake sensitivity, as she put it, which are being fixed. And then Federal Health Minister Greg Hunt said there were no problems. Have a listen.
Can I just say it's not that the app's not working. We actually have managed to get some data off the app. You'd expect that we have teething problems with any new application. So for the Android phones, we have managed to get data off. There's just been some issues with, and I'm not an IT person, but with the handshake sensitivity, I believe that's been remedied. So we're looking forward to fully embracing the COVID app into our contact tracing.
Our understanding is that other states have used it previously. I understand that Victoria has. I understand that New South Wales has sought data where it's had cases. But that was again confirmed by New South Wales this morning. So the app is there. It serves its role. And with all of these things, what we do is we prepare for the worst for outbreaks. But where we don't have outbreaks, where we are down to less than a dozen cases, then we have preparations that are in place. We have mechanisms that are there, whether it's in terms of testing, tracing, the app. They're all serving their purpose to protect Australians now, and they've helped us contain, but they're helping us prevent future outbreaks. The advice I have is that other states have been able to seek out information. In particular, the advice we have is that New South Wales has been able to seek out information before.
There have been reports that New South Wales health officials have been unable to access the data for contact tracing. Are those reports true?
No.
Now, the Commonwealth Health Department, they've also put out their own statement. It says the COVIDSafe app has commenced operation and we are confident it is operating as designed. Any claims that technical issues are restricting access are not correct. Then it says of the app, this will supplement the manual tracing and it is an improvement to the current system. I must admit, I thought it was to replace the manual tracing. Anyway, just in the last half hour, Victorian Health Deputy Chief Medical Officer, I understand, has said that the app has actually been used to identify one case, just one case, but at least I guess it shows it works if it has identified a contact who then is established to have COVID-19. Have a listen.
We have had one case who had the app downloaded, who agreed to release the data from the app, and that we downloaded the data from the app, and that revealed one close contact who hadn't been identified in the initial interviewing process. So that's good news, and that person has been contacted and placed into quarantine.
Kieran, we'll keep a close watch on this one to make sure it's working effectively. Now, the state borders debate continues, as we've seen. Why is Queensland insistent on keeping their borders closed to New South Wales? Well, in the 2 weeks to May 16, 34 of the 47 cases picked up in New South Wales were locally acquired, not overseas acquired. So states like WA and SA and Queensland are using the community transmission argument, but these are very small numbers and it could cost these states and the country dearly and cost a lot of jobs. Anyway, today we've had a report of a COVID case at St Ignatius Riverview in Sydney, the school closing down for cleaning. The school Barnaby Joyce and Tony Abbott attended. Gladys Berejiklian, the New South Wales Premier, she did warn of outbreaks at schools and having to shut them down. Even though most state governments are aiming to reopen a lot of things soon, as we've seen more announcements today from New South Wales, some health officials, I understand, on the Health Principles Committee, that committee of federal and state chief medical officers, had wanted to wait 28 days after full-time schooling reopened before lifting more restrictions to have a proper assessment of the return to school and effect on the virus. But there was just too much public pressure to reopen the economy to do that, and just such a low level of cases, Kieran.